So at this point, her and I are just in the street arguing on some ratchet shit that I don't even do. So I'm extra irritated. Like, you got me out here making a scene, looking goofy over some silly shit with someone who's supposed to be my sister. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Kayla Shell, and today we're doing a story time. All right, so if you guys watched my last story time, I had a pile and I picked out of that pile what I was going to be talking about in this video. So today I'm going to be talking about my first time to Miami and pretty much all the drama that transpired on that trip. I'm gonna try to keep the video short and sweet. I don't want to do too much talking, but I want the story to be interesting, so I'm gonna tell you guys the good parts. But this trip was honestly like a test for friendship and just family, just everything. I fell out with almost everybody that I went onto this trip with, and not even in the aspect of like fell out with them because it was my fault or I started shit. I just decided to fall back and was just over the situation. It was too much for me. First, we went to Miami for my birthday. If I go somewhere, I want to like do everything. I want to stay in a nice ass hotel. I want to eat bomb ass food. I want to do shit that I would have never done back home. I don't want to go anywhere for a vacation and stay in a basic hotel and just, no, I could have done this back home. Pointless. When it came to going to Miami, I wanted to get a fat ass Airbnb. I had a whole itinerary planned of what I wanted to do, like all sorts of stuff. I made a group chat with everybody who was going. I made sure I sent flight deals when I could find them. We talked about jet skis, getting a boat. Like the Airbnb we were supposed to get was fat as fuck, had a whole wraparound patio so we could take pictures, so we could, you know, outside, all sorts of stuff. So first thing first, when it came to going to Miami, I offered to put up majority of what was needed for the Airbnb. And it was originally supposed to be 6 other girls. So with that being said, 6 other girls, even 4 other girls, to put up 25% shouldn't be that hard. Like, and it's my birthday. Y'all should have wanted to, you know what I mean, pay for it all, if not most of it. So I ended up just kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna put all this money forward for everybody to have a good time and stay in this nice ass Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. My son fucking spilled my foundation on the floor the other day, but I didn't know he spilled all of it. This will be an interesting look, guys. We'll see what I can pull off. But yeah, so, you know, that's not what it ended up being. Whatever, I was over it. And I just said, fuck it. Let's just get, you know, a basic hotel that could fit us 3, because at this point it was only supposed to be 3 of us staying at the Airbnb because the other 2 people had got a room. So we're gonna go ahead and fill in how that happened. The other 2 people were my god sisters, and one of my god sisters, I don't know exactly how old she is. I want to say she's like 28 or 29, and she has 4 kids. So with that being said, and she didn't really have the finances at the time. With that being said though, you know, I'm a mom. I understand another mom needing a break. So I really felt like she deserved a break to get away, you know, from her babies for a little bit, so she could just, you know, go back to being hers. That's always needed as a mom, just time away. I understood. So I offered to pay for her flight. I told her I would pay for her flight so she could come, so she didn't have to be left out, you know, because her sister was coming. So I was like, all right, I'll pay for your flight. So I ended up saying I didn't want to go and kind of canceling the trip, but I told everybody, like, I'm still being iffy, because that's just me. I'm a Libra. I'm indecisive. I told everybody, you know, I don't think I want to go, but I'm still being iffy, so don't cancel your flights yet. I'll let you guys know, like, for sure before, you know, you can't get your money back if I want to go or not. So everybody else was like, all right, cool, you know, we're gonna wait. I'm not gonna fuck nobody out of their bread and not let them know in a reasonable enough time to cancel and get a refund. I'm not like that. So everybody else waited. They took it upon themselves to go ahead and get a room together because they decided that they were gonna go to Miami regardless if we went for my birthday. That was the first red flag for me, because if I pay for your flight for you to go to Miami for my birthday and I decide that I'm not going, you shouldn't be going either. Like, why would you not be refunding the ticket so I could get my money back? Why would you be going still because I bought the ticket? Like, I don't know. I didn't understand that. But I was like, whatever. I try not to, think too much about it because sometimes I like to overthink stuff and make it, bigger than what it really has to be. So I skipped it. All right. So fast forward and, we ended up, us three, getting a room and splitting that room together. First thing first, everybody was flying into Fort Lauderdale, and we all knew that everybody was flying into Fort Lauderdale. So with that being said, if we're all flying into Fort Lauderdale and flying out of Fort Lauderdale, why would we stay in Miami? Like, we're not about to get off this flight and then drive all the way to Miami when we know we're not about to be staying out there, and some of the stuff that we were going to do was in Fort Lauderdale. Honestly, we could have originally just stayed in Miami. It wouldn't have been a problem. Like, we could have flew into Fort Lauderdale, drove to Miami, and then drove back to Fort Lauderdale when it was time to leave. That wouldn't have been an issue, but that just wasn't the plan. Like, we all knew that we were flying into Fort Lauderdale and we wanted to get straight off the plane and go straight to our hotel. So we was just getting something close to where we were flying at, and we would just drive each day to, wherever we were going to end up being. So every time it comes time to do something, we have to drive that 45 minutes that it takes to get to Miami. And it was just, oh my God, this foundation is so light. And it was just such a waste of gas for absolutely no reason. So me and my two homegirls that split the room, they were obviously the only ones who were down to split anything. We ended up putting money together and we got a rental. So we got the rental in my older sister's name just because at the time I was like 22. So I was able to rent a car, but they wanted to charge me that underage driver fee. And it would have just been way more money for me to rent it when we could have just put it in her name and she was already coming on the trip. So we put it in her name and she drives the whole time. And the first night we end up going to the strip club and I was staying elsewhere. I didn't check into the hotel because my one friend who was supposed to make it and stay at the hotel with me on the first night, she ended up missing her flight. So I didn't want to stay at the hotel by myself, so we didn't even check into the hotel the first night. I had got there before everybody else did, and I was staying with my homeboy, so I was going to just stay with him again, the night after the strip club, because why am I going to pay for the hotel to stay there by myself when I get to stay with my homeboy for free? And then when my homegirls get here, we could just go to the hotel and we'll just split less money. Blah, blah, blah. It just was all stupid. So I was staying with my homeboy. I wasn't staying with him. And I needed to get back to Fort Lauderdale where he stayed so I could, lay my head at night and be ready to wake up in the morning to go get my other friend who was landing. My older sister wouldn't let me drive the car. If that was going to be an issue, I feel like you should have communicated that from the jump, not communicated that once we got the rental in your name, so on and so forth. You knew that other people were going to want to drive the car, but you didn't feel the need to communicate that when you were like, yeah, I'll put it in my name. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that would have been valuable information to share with everybody. So yeah, boom, she wouldn't drive me. And she was sitting here saying how I couldn't go back to her room and have him come pick me up because she doesn't know him and she doesn't want him to know where she's staying, which is reasonable. But I don't know why somebody I know would try to hurt her. I'm very smart about the people I'm around. So with that being said, if you don't want him to know where you're staying, you can't know where he lies his head either. I'm fair on multiple accounts. So long story short, I ended up just getting a hotel anyways and was just like, you know what, fuck it. So the next day came. I'm thinking we're going to get up early in the morning and, we're going to get straight to doing whatever we're going to do for the day. I'm not thinking that we're moving our feet. We're getting up hella late. Like, what do I want to sleep in for? I could sleep in at home. So bam, it comes time to go ahead and get out. I'm up early, getting all cute, blah, blah, blah. They don't come and pick me up until 3 in the afternoon. So I'm like, half of the day is already fucked off. I'm not a night person. Everybody knows I'm a morning person. So why why did we come to Miami if y'all finna wake up hella late? Like, that irritated the fuck out of me. So, not first off, I can't drive the car that I paid for. Now we wasting time because I have to wait for you guys to drive and come and get me and wake up whenever y'all feel like it because y'all got the car. Y'all just running the show. And it's my birthday. Like, that shit was killing me. So we end up going to pick up my other friend from the airport later in the day and stuff. We ended up like going to the mall and some other stuff because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to tour every mall in Florida. I'm gonna say, like, we went to like 2 or 3 different malls, and it's like, again, I could go to the mall at home. Why are we going to the mall out here? Like, what do we need that bad? And yeah, I had planned a certain itinerary, but that itinerary was not happening once we was all staying at different places. Like, I had plans for us to do, you know, sleepover stuff together so I could get content. 'Cause at the time I was recording, I did do like a Miami vlog prior to like deleting all my content and stuff. So I wanted to record some good footage, and us having a big ass sleepover, like hella late, that would have been fire. So all that activities, all that was cut for where we were staying, like the lingerie party and stuff, once we weren't staying together. And I guess they was looking for lingerie the whole time. But they wanted to go to every single mall, and that was just stupid to me. So we ended up going to the mall when my friend first got there because we wanted to go to the beach, and she didn't have a bathing suit. The airline had like sent her luggage somewhere else, so she had to wait for it to get here. It ended up getting there later, but it got lost, and she didn't have a bathing suit, and we were going to the beach. So we went to the mall so she could go ahead and get a bathing suit, and then we could go to the beach. So that was the first time we went to the mall, and I think that was the only time that we really needed to go to the mall. After we went to the mall, we needed to stop for gas. My homegirl paid for the gas. That was cool. I think I had paid for the gas another time. And then later that night, we ended up, the next day we ended up picking up my homegirl. She paid for gas too. So everybody paid for gas at this point, except for the 2 people driving the car who did not put money in on the rental. So I'm like, very confused. So yeah, so everybody had paid for gas at this point pretty much, except for the 2 people who were driving the car. And it was just irritating because she's sitting here like, well, we thought we were chauffeuring you around because it's your birthday. You're just trying to make something sweet about it because the night before you had said I couldn't take the car because it was in your name. So how are you gonna say now that you were trying to chauffeur me? Like, I'm not with the stupid shit. Don't try to fool me. So now it comes time for gas again. And my friend's here at this point. We're just gonna fast forward. We're gonna skip what we did for the night. And they're trying to look at us like we need to put gas in the car. And we're sitting here looking at them, and they're like, well, you guys are the one who got your room all the way in Fort Lauderdale. Like, that's the reason for us needing so much gas, because we have to drive that way every single time. What? Like, y'all didn't put nothing in on the car, nothing in on the gas, and you have an issue paying for gas? I'm confused. I'm not understanding. So that was an issue. We end up going to the beach. And while we're at the beach, me and my homegirl decide that we already had all of our stuff, that we were just gonna change rooms and get a room in Miami because it would, you know, cut down some of the costs with gas, and it would just be more efficient. So we go to the beach, and those 2, their room is right around the corner from the beach that we end up going to. They're like, we're gonna go to our room really fast, and we're just gonna change in our room instead of like changing to our bathing suit in this little public bathroom. So it was just extra weird to us because we're like, don't you think that we want to change our bathing suits to somewhere that's more comfortable? Why would we not all go to your room? Why would just y'all 2 go to your room and we change here? Like, that was just so weird to us. And they kept trying to say like this whole COVID thing. And I think the COVID thing was if somebody stayed in your room. I don't think if you had somebody kick it with you for a minute in your room, they were gonna fine you. Like, I'm very confused. They needed to sanitize the room after regardless. So if you got COVID in the Airbnb or you brought COVID to the Airbnb, what does it matter? They're supposed to sanitize it prior to allowing someone else to inhabit that space anyways. So I don't know. I was blown on that. I didn't understand it. So we're like, you know what, whatever. We're not gonna, you know, keep dealing with their cattiness. Literally trying to intentionally cause at this point. So we just be like, okay, cool. They go to their room and we just changed right there in the bathrooms, none major. And we went to the beach. So at this point, we're at the beach now for like well over an hour. At least 45 minutes if it wasn't an hour, but it seemed like for sure it was well over an hour. So we're over it. Like, you know what I mean? We're from Cali. The beach ain't that major. It was just to see the Florida beach, to, you know, take some pictures and keep it pushing. Unless we was getting on a boat, doing some jet skis, we're not really tripping off the water. We came to do some other stuff. So at this point, we're over it. We're like, fuck it, let's just go check into our new room. So we order a lift at this point, and we're like, we're just gonna get a lift to the new room and we'll link back up with them later. They're clearly on some weird shit. So they end up coming back and we tell them like, you know, we already been here for a minute. We're not really trying to stay here anymore. We got a lift, we're about to leave. So bam, the lift is like up the street at this point. So we're like, all right, we need to start walking to the curb because we're still like in the sand. So I asked her, I'm like, can I get the keys really quick so we could just get our bags out and we can wait for the lift? I'll run them back. And I didn't have an issue running back. It wasn't that far, but it seemed like she just wasn't trying to give me the keys. So she's like, oh no, you know, I'll walk you to the car, whoop-de-whoop. And then as we're walking, she's like, did you guys want me to take you? Like, I don't mind taking you. You wait until now to offer to take us when the lift is literally here, like it's right there. We're gonna have to pay that cancellation fee and all that. You could have been said that you would have given us a ride. So we're like, no, what the fuck? So I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. That was it for me. That was absolutely it. I felt like it was just catty shit on top of catty shit. And that was just irritating the fuck out of me. So I said something. I'm like, no, we don't want to ride. Why didn't you feel the need to mention that earlier? And she had the nerve to sit here and say, well, you should have spoke up. I should have spoke up about what? About asking you for a ride after we already sat here and told you that you're treating us like a bunch of fucking kids, not trying to let us drive the car. You're acting hella petty. She was complaining about everything, y'all. When we went out to eat for my birthday, I chose a nice restaurant that I wanted to have dinner at for my birthday. So she was sitting here complaining like, well, you chose this expensive ass restaurant to eat at. Like, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm not a basic ass bitch. Sorry I didn't choose Wendy's to have fucking my birthday dinner at. Like, what type of shit was that? So then the next morning, I'm understanding. So I chose something more affordable for breakfast the next morning when we went out to eat. Then she's complaining that they're taking too long to bring her food out, that we could have went to a place that would have brought the food out quicker, whoop-de-whoop. And it's like, you have an issue with everything. You have an issue when they bring your food out fast, but they charge you more. You have an issue when they bring your food out slow, but charge you less. Like, you have an issue that there's no itinerary, but you didn't want to pitch in money when there was an itinerary, but you don't want to suggest anything that we could do either. Like, it was just a bunch of petty arguments. Okay. That looks like it's pretty close enough at least.
12 seconds later.
Okay. I had to focus on my lips first. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. So, when we ended up, after my little summary, I just gave you guys the stuff that happened that I didn't talk about. When we got to the car, I ended up saying something. I'm like, girl, why would you just now offer us a ride when clearly we're not gonna, you know, get our money back because we canceled too last minute? And that's when she's sitting here saying, well, I should have spoke up. I lost my shit. And I started saying everything about everything. So at this point, her and I are just in the street arguing on some ratchet shit that I don't even do. So I'm extra irritated. Like, you got me out here making a scene, looking goofy over some silly shit with someone who's supposed to be my sister. And I paid for you to come. Like, not even to throw in somebody's face, but I really wanted you here. And then we're sitting here arguing over stupid shit. That's irritating. So I had to fucking kind of walk out in the street and put like the cars that were parked on the sidewalk between us because I wanted to take flight. I wanted to just, I wanted to grab her and just go to town with her. I could not. So I had to just get in the street, put some distance between us. So I didn't put my hands on her, because once you fight somebody, with me at least, there's no going back. We never gonna be friends again. We're never gonna talk again. Like, it's just bad. There's no other way it could be, or it should be. So that was it. I was over the situation. That was literally the last time I have ever talked to her. On my birthday, like I said, we weren't really there in Miami for my actual birthday. So on my birthday, no, she didn't call and wish me a happy birthday. I had left some stuff in the car, and they never called me about it. Obviously, they returned the car because the car was in her name, so she cared. So I wasn't tripping. So they returned the rental and everything, Never talked to me. I never talked to them again. I hit up my godmom and, like, talked to their mom about the situation. But, she reached out later to talk to me and stuff. And we did talk, and we talked about the situation. But that was it. And it was crazy for me because I've known them since I was a little girl, like birth. Our moms were best friends. I've known them forever. So to see somebody I know switch up on me like that, it was interesting. And as far as my other friend that I fell out with, it wasn't too major. Her and I were friends, and prior to us being friends, she had a thing for me, and she kind of still did have a thing for me, but I expressed to her that, we weren't on that. I wasn't interested in her in that way, but, we were good friends. And when she seen me out in Miami, just, being me, single, doing me, she wasn't really feeling that. That made her feel away. So, that kind of ended our friendship. But y'all, I feel like this video was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I was shooting for like 10 minutes, and I think I doubled that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, become one of my baes. If you guys are fucking with the tee that I wore for this fit, this is my new foreign tee. This is just a foreign logo tee. I'm getting ready to come out with so much fire. I got a little bit of winter, spring type of shit for you guys. I got a whole summer drop. It's about to go up from here with foreign apparel. So if you guys want to support my brand, I really appreciate you guys going to the link down below in the description. Cop one of my tees, cop a hat, cop whatever you feel is fit. And I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm almost monetized. So let's go ahead and get into it and really get into these videos. All right, see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.